Hello, Sue Johnson here from Wake Up and Live's Actor Studio, along with Terrence Spivey, Artistic Director of Karamu. You know, I never do know the name of this place, Karamu House, Karamu Theater.
Karamu Performing Arts Theater.
Performing Arts Theater.
Karamu.
Whatever it is. We are here on Wake Up and Live with the Arts to spend some quality time, Terrence and I together, talking about all the wonderful things that are going on for Karamu Centennial, which is 100 continuous years as an ongoing theater. Now, those of us who know a little differently know that initially Karamu was not necessarily an African American based theater. What was it when the Jelliffes founded it?
It was more of a theater. Well, actually, it was a community center. It was a, it was a settlement house.
Yes.
In 1915, and it caught fire in 39. You were rebuilding it, and around that time they had it called Karamu. Actually, the theater company, the theater itself was Karamu, the theater, and then before that it was a Dumas Players, which later evolved into the Gilpin Players.
Gilpin, yes.
Excuse me. So in 1921, they started doing plays because between 15 and 21, it was more community. Folks coming in, activities going on, art, dance, and that kind of thing. And so the theater came about. And when they did musicals, they need, musicians, and when they needed scenery, and they needed dancers, and that's how dancing came about. That's how artists came about.
Yes.
So they all came encompassed into the performing arts facility.
And that is how Karamu evolved. Russell and Rowena Jelliffe were the founders of Karamu way back in 1915, and I was young, but I had a chance, especially, I remember Rowena more than I do Russell, but who knew that I was talking to history at that time? And we are going to spend a minute talking about the Centennial. I want to give a shout out to Pat Egan, our interim executive director, who isn't here to join us this edition of Wake Up and Live with the Arts. So we are going to talk about what's going on at Karamu with this 100-year centennial celebration, which I understand, I think Bracy Lewis is chairing this magical event for Saturday, June 13th.
It's June 13th, the Cleveland Museum of Art.
The Cleveland Museum of Art. We are not slouches.
Yes, it's going to be great food, live entertainment, some surprise performances and guests.
Yes.
And we're going to be honoring, so it's the Centennial Impact Awards, where we're giving out awards to James Pickens Jr.
Okay.
Grey's Anatomy, who's a Karamu alum. Rowena and Russell Jelliffe, giving awards to them, and the legendary acting couple, the late Ruben Silver and his wife, Dorothy, who's still alive.
Yes, and she's
she'll
going
be there
to be
to accept an award. She'll be there.
Yes, and hopefully we're going to get her to perform before all is said and done at some point.
Yes.
We had a play in mind, and that just didn't pan out. So there's always next year.
Yes, and then the fourth person is Mr. George Forbes.
Okay, our former chief counsel. He was head of the city council for many, many years. He's a powerful influence in Cleveland politics and economics and some community support. He was president of the NAACP.
Yes.
So he is he's quite influential.
Yes.
And he's going to be receiving an award at this banquet.
That's right.
Celebration. And as of right now, do not have the formal information about dinner costs and what time the Centennial Banquet will be, but all that will be forthcoming. So look out in April and May for the specific details. In the meantime, anything about Karamu, go to the website at www.karamuhouse.org. I'll repeat that, www.karamuhouse.org, which talks about all the events and activities and I speak English, performances. Speaking of which, while it's on my mind, you've been working on your 2016 season.
Yes, I have.
Now, tell us how we're going to finish up the 15 season and what you're able to share about the 16 season.
Yes, we're closing the, well, right now we're ending the Mighty Scarab soon.
Oh, and that, I almost said phenomenal again. That play, If you missed it, you have missed a piece of great theater art. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
You know, that was fantastic.
And then Mary Weems' play Purses is part of our Ghostlight play development series, a new series we had for a while. We started off with Michael Oldman's piece, Tupac, with that a couple years back. And it put him on the map and put the play on the map as well. So it's a development series for local artists that develop their works. So Purses opens April 2nd to April 12th, Mary Weems. So about 3 generational women and what they have and they're hidden in their purses.
And so if you're in the audience to see the play, be sure you have the right stuff in your purse, because you may become part of the play, the storyline. So it's 3 women who are gathered together.
Runs for 2 weeks, yes. Very poetic piece, you know, and Mary doesn't hold her tongue. You know, she's very out there. She's very real.
Yes.
She's real. She's right there connected with what's out there in society. As a major voice in theater. And then we open May 29th with The Wiz.
The Wiz is on.
Yes, The Wiz. He's on down the road. That's right.
And I don't need no more bad news.
That's right.
Have you got your cast set for that?
We got parts of the cast so far.
Okay.
Yes, we have part. It could be a close to about 40 people in the cast.
Well, that's not unusual for you. We've had other productions that are running almost 40.
Yes.
Because Color Purple had a gang of folks.
Yes, God's Trombones.
God's Trombones.
Yes.
So you're no stranger to a huge cast.
Yeah.
And with young people too.
Yes.
Which is an important part of Karamu's mission, is to develop youth and get them trained and introduced into theater.
That's right.
So we should have a lot of fun, and that opens May
29th.
29th. It runs through
the 22nd of June.
22nd of June. So before you take your summer vacations, ease on down this road to 89th and Quincy. And there is gated parking, a parking lot, so you don't have to do like downtown and park on the street, or $10 parking garages and stuff. So we've got that going. And speaking of people like Mary, because I'm to be involved in helping to promote her too, to get her known to a wider audience. And I have to give a plug to our own Vicki Williams from the Wake Up and Lives Actors Studio. And she's done work here at Karamu, and she's done work. It used to be known as the Joyce R. Whitley Arena Fest, and she's had several of her plays read there. But she's got something new coming up, and it's called Imagine Freedom. It's a 1-act play. Now, auditions are already being held as we tape this, but her play is part of Cleveland Public Theater's Station of Hope. And I have to read some of this because it's new to me. A multi-art event that celebrates the Underground Railroad and the hope for freedom and justice today. It is scheduled to be performed Saturday, May 9th. And it doesn't say yet exactly where it is, but the story itself captures the indomitable strength and wisdom of Susanna King Taylor, born under slavery in 1848. My heavens, that's a long time ago. Miss King became the first Black Army nurse, first teacher to former slaves in Georgia, and author of Reminiscences of My Life in Camp, an account life of the 33rd United Colored Troops during the Civil War. So that's quite a powerful 1-act piece. And it comes after we did our commemorative, which was about 4 local Tuskegee Airmen, which showed their determination to rise above the circumstances of their era. And that was a great piece, again, by Vicki Williams, and she is an emerging local playwright. And we are both kind of dedicated to trying to get our local playwrights out.
Yes.
Now,
Cornell Calhoun.
Cornell Calhoun, or we always call him Cal, but he's an example. He's becoming so strong that he is a local playwright who is getting his work published nationally, produced nationally.
Exactly. Yes.
So that's what we'd like to see happen to Mary Weems and Vicki Williams and whoever else we can think of.
He's already out there. Yes.
He's out there, and is he still considered the playwright in residence for Karamu?
Yeah, he does his. I mean, kind of all of them.
I know he's busy all over.
Yeah, all of them are kind of more in residence now because they come in, like he directs shows here, and he's directed a piece for me next season.
Okay.
And he's out, creating talent as well. You know, so that's a good thing. You know, it's like he's carrying the torch along with Cornell and all the others.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing that I like to go back to is in terms of the musicals and stuff like that, because it's not too many black theater companies in the city. You know, it's not like Chicago where you got 5 black theater companies. You know, what we do is, because we have a level of different professionals, different levels of, we have professional, we have the amateur, and then the semis all combined.
It's
so
aspiring, experienced, veteran.
Yes, and that's what makes us unique too. That's why we do shows pretty big too, to give everybody a chance to be able to get up on the stage, you know, and it gets to the point I don't worry about if they're equity or not. It's about them growing, and that's what Karamu has been about all these years. Is, you know, it's like what it means, a place of joyful gathering.
Joyful place of joyful gathering.
Yes.
And as far as equity is concerned, once in a while, not all the time, you're able to offer an equity contract.
Yes.
And I want to continue to encourage you that Karamu is working diligently on diversity. So if you are a white, pink, purple, yellow, Hispanic, Asian, Greek, whatever person, when you see audition notices, come out and perhaps you will get cast. So that it's not just African American, it is all encompassing. And we are open to welcoming folks of all, I almost said denominations. Yeah, so come on down when you see, you know, it's hard to see audition notices now. You've got to be on Neopal, Fred Sternfeld's Neopal. You've got to look at Facebook now. I haven't learned how to master Facebook yet, but we're on Facebook about Bill's workshops, and you're on Facebook, and I haven't had a chance to promote it this week because you were the keynote speaker at the USITT, which was held in Cincinnati last weekend. So first of all, beyond another congratulations and an honor, because he ended up speaking to over 1,000 people. That's how important this unassuming man is. You would never know how well respected and honored he is throughout the country. So first of all, what the heck? I forgot what USITT stands for.
Okay, it means United States Institute for Theater Technology.
Okay, and what is that all about?
They nurture people behind the scenes, such as a technical director, stage manager, sound designer, light designer, costumer. That's who they nurture.
So our Richard Morris type folks.
Right,
and Richard Morris, by the way, was a Tony Award winning set designer a couple years back.
Was it Tony? What was it? The National Black Theater, the Black Festival.
Oh, okay.
He got a nationally known, designing award.
Okay, why did I think it was a Tony Award?
His contributions to Black theater, American theater, his designing.
So, out of my mouth.
He's guessing, but the funny you said that, because he said his next thing will be the Tony. So
okay, well.
He always talk about that. It's going to happen too.
All right. Well, my predictions are known to become true, even the ones I don't want. Okay, so at this conference is full of folks who are more known behind the scenes than out front as actors and TV hosts and what have you. What did you learn about when you went to this conference as a keynote speaker?
Wow, one thing I learned is they're just as passionate as the people on stage. They're very detailed. It ran from like March 18th to March 21st at the Duke Energy Convention Center in Cincinnati. And they brought in close to 5,500 people throughout the whole event.
Yes.
I just read where they just broke a record. It was the biggest since 1961. That's how long it's been around. So I felt I was honored. I'd like to thank David Grendel, the executive director, Ellen Marie Kazel from she's a Midwest rep of USITT. She lives in Akron, and David Stewart and many others who's been running the organization for a while. Thank them for bringing me on. It was a 55th annual.
Okay.
So I felt blessed and honored.
And the fact that they found you and selected you. See what that means too. That they didn't pick this time around somebody from Lower Slobovia. They found our own Terrence Spivey.
It was a blast. I mean, and I was able to play at least 7 minutes of the More Than a Theater 45-minute documentary we have on Karamu.
Okay.
And we played that in the midst of my speech. And interesting, you know, it was a good segue. You mentioned diversity. That's what my speech was about.
It's all about, yes.
It was about diversity, of more diverse, more people of color, of all colors behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. And I actually spelled it out in my speech that we need more from Broadway to, you know, to regional, to community theater,
yes,
whatever. And I also mentioned the fact that, you know, we shouldn't just have just one show for Black History Month. We shouldn't just have that one-shot deal for theaters to just get monies, you know, for just one deal. Say, oh, we throw you a bone and that's it. Thank you. We've done what we had to do. So I had that in my speech as well, and that's something that David Grendelnam was happy that I included in my speech. So it was really a beautiful moment just to talk to these people, the huge, gigantic screens with the images up there, and showing the movie, the documentary.
And this documentary kind of talked about the history of Karamu or the current events?
Exactly. They actually, because we were interviewed. Cleveland Foundation had given us money to put it together. Gregory Lockhart did a great job. Works at Channel 8, Fox 8. He put it together, and we interviewed some of the staff here.
Yes.
A couple of them, maybe over the summer, I think last summer. So we talked about the fact what we use it for. Anytime we go somewhere, take a nugget of it, and when I decided to go, when they said, come on, I said, you know what, I gotta have a piece of this part of my speech. I know the organization's about people behind the scenes, but I want everybody to see what made Karamu known is these faces they've seen on television. And everybody, I mean, it was a gentleman from Germany after the speech, David Grindle and I was walking down, and he talked to him, and he is internationally known too, the organization. Okay. And the gentleman said he was taken back because I ended my speech talking about on this month of March is the 50th anniversary of Selma. That's how I ended the speech.
Oh, it sure is. Yes.
Yeah, I ended the speech by the fact that we tried twice to go over the bridge, and the third time we were able to go because it was the integration, diversity of people of all races that made a success. So we can do that now in terms of people behind the scenes. So that's how I ended my speech. So the gentleman was taken back, and he actually put something on his website, and I went on there. It was in German. So I did, but what was English is Terrence Spivey. And what happened, I found out my daughter, I called her up, and she said, I said, how can I? She said, put it through Google.
And it'll translate.
Google translates it, and I saw it there. I said, oh, okay, nice. So, but it really made an impact. You know, it was, I wouldn't just say the messenger, but the message made an impact because a lot of bloggers from technical aspect, they were all on the internet on Google. You could go on Google and see quotes they pull from my speeches, my speech, and talking about the Jelliffes and Karamu and how diverse it was, it still is, and you know, we got to come together and be radicals. Well, I use the term radical.
Yeah, because radicals make change.
Make change.
As positive change or otherwise change, but a radical is the type of individual who takes the bold leap and moves forward. And while we're talking about backstage and behind the scenes, I know Terrence does it as well, but when we at the Actors Studio, we also encourage folks that if you can't be an actor, don't want to be an actor, can never get an audition, work backstage. That's a good basic training ground. If you learn how to build a set with carpentry, if you learn lighting, if you learn how to walk around cable without breaking your neck, if you know how to do makeup, if you learn how to do costumes, and one of the funny things is, in many instances, those who work behind scenes get paid, and the actors on stage don't, in some circumstances. So we encourage all of you who are thinking about, we're talking primarily theater, don't just look to get in through acting, look to help backstage and build your skills, your training, and you get a comprehensive picture of what theater is all about. And believe it or not, it may make it easier for you to get an audition at one point and become the actor that you'd like to be. So do not forget about learning to be a backstage technician, sound, lighting.
That's right.
And you can always talk to Richard Morris here at Karamu. My word, he's got enough knowledge for about 22 people.
Right. Yeah. If you would like to get more ticket information about the Centennial, you can call Sarah Unkefer. And also, in addition to that, in June, the same time of the celebration, the Cleveland Magazine is going to have a pull-out issue. It's like a pull-out insert on Karamu House.
Okay.
In that June Cleveland Magazine issue.
Coming up. Well, we are so proud to be affiliated with Terrence and the theater department here at Karamu. And the idea is to get Karamu re-energized, revitalized, reestablished as the premier theater organization in Cleveland, that it once was held in high esteem, and it's just about back there again from all the work Terrence is doing. So that is why we are partnering, if you will, to do even more to show what a fantabulous theater organization Karamu is. Now, other things go on here, classes, and you've got a daycare center or something.
Yes. Outreach program. Yes, that's right.
So you want to get involved. It doesn't cost anything to come down here and volunteer to be an usher, to volunteer backstage or whatever it might be, and get to know this theater and bring your friends. Because the theater both theaters, the Arena, which is the small intimate
Black
theater,
box.
and the Jelliffe Theater, which is the proscenium big theater. Bring your friends so they can see all the I almost said it again. Sometimes I get hooked on a word and I cannot stop using that word. But you'll see great theater. We're finishing up with the Mighty Scarabs, and I haven't got good sense. I was talking about I'm a mighty rebel. Those scarabs don't scare me. But the cast is unbelievable. The writing, the directing by Chris Johnston. This is one of the premier, I use that word again, performances. And go back, I don't know how you do it in the archives, and Google The Plain Dealer and old theater reviews, because Andrea Samakis, this is the first time I have seen a critic's review that didn't nitpick one thing. That from top to bottom, it was a glowing rave review of this production. Okay, we're going to be winding down in a minute. Is there anything else for the good of the order that we need to make sure we mention? Because the idea is to promote you, Karamu, the productions, the Centennial, Bill Cobb's, what else we got?
There's TCG, but
that's right. Okay, talk about that now. Just mention it.
TCG is the Theater Communications Group. They nurture theaters, regional, Broadway. They also publish the American Theater Magazine.
Okay.
I call it the Sports Illustrated of Theater Magazine. And so they're coming here June 18th to June 20th.
Okay.
The Cleveland Playhouse, Cleveland Public Theater, Great Lakes, they're all like hosts. But they brought us aboard too to be a part of the host committee.
Good.
So there'll be a lot of things going on, a big party on the 18th at CPT, Cleveland Public Theater. And they're looking to also do some workshops going to be going on, sessions on the arts. On the 19th, they're looking to possibly come to Karamu as well and screen a piece called Legacy Leaders, which is about a lot of the founders such as Douglas Turner Ward, Woody King, Tia Chang from Pan Asian Rep, Jackie Taylor from Black Ensemble Theater, those people who founded theater companies.
Yes.
And so they're looking, if they get it all done, they're looking to premiere it at Karamu in kind of collaboration with our celebration.
That would be wonderful, and that would certainly put Karamu on everybody's calendar, top of the hit list, and all that kind of good stuff.
And also Project One Voice.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's June 15th.
That's the Monday after.
The Monday with Dale Shields directing Home by Sam Martin Williams.
That is one big man.
Yes, Sam Martin.
I met him at the National Black Theater Festival, and I just said, okay.
And what makes that unique is over the past 4 or 5 years, what they do is that every theater across the country, black theater companies, would do that play the same night.
Yes.
Across the country. So Dale Shields is directing. He's a Karamu alum. Glad he's coming back.
Yes.
And so it's going to be wonderful.
That
and
weekend,
and James Pickens Jr. is set to star in it.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so he's going to stay around a bit and participate in the Project One Voice. If it's June 15th, that would be a Monday. That's a huge weekend because Friday, what would that
The
be?
Karamu alum party.
Social event. Yeah, so here's to all Karamu alum. Be on notice that we are participating in the Centennial Weekend, and Friday we will be having an event for our art group, and of course tickets to the WUAL will be involved, I think, at a reduced
discounted
price.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, of course, the Centennial Saturday. Now, Sunday, everybody gets a day off. Isn't that right? Or was there going to be something Sunday?
I know we have the play. We have the play going.
Yes.
We don't know what else. We're still working it out.
Working that out. Okay, well, we got time.
That's right.
Got time.
That's right.
But now, having said that, it's time to go because we have talked you to death. And we want to thank Lester Bryan, our videographer, and of course, again, Pat Egan and Karamu for sponsoring our Wake Up and Live with the Arts. It's been my joy and my pleasure to chat this much with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me as always.
Well, yeah, you're a standard guest. You're not even a special guest.
Oh, I feel like Regis Philbin on David Letterman.
Oh, okay.
How many appearances have I made so far?
Well, you're helping to do good things for Karamu.
Well, thank you.
Karamu, and you deserve every good accolade that comes your way.
Thank you.
Okay, so stay tuned for another episode or edition of Wake Up in Life. Wake Up in Life. I got too many things on my mind right now. Okay, so we're going to try it again. Wake Up and Live with the Arts. And we are from the Wake Up and Live Actors Studio. Wake Up 4664 at AOL.com. Terrence Spivey, Artistic Director of Karamu, and you can go to the Karamu's website, www.karamuhouse.org, and for all these events coming up and pricing and registration for Bill Cobbs's Master Acting Class, April 11th and 12th, contact Karamu, Sarah Unkefer, 216-795-7070, extension 222, and she will be happy to fill you in with all the particulars. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for sharing the conversation.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.